KILR Killer Game.
Hello, gamers, simmers, and pilots. I am the KILR Gamer, and welcome to the tour around the world featuring Microsoft Flight Simulator. This would be the 2020 version, not the 1982 version, although we do have that on this channel as well. And we have a whole bunch of other simulators on this channel that is also doing a world tour, and they all follow the same flight plan as much as they possibly can. Some simulators don't have coverage in some areas where others do. But we've come to that time where we are now in the new Flight Simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, as some will call it. And as we have done on all the other simulators, we are starting at Merrill C. Meigs. Well, this is what's left of Merrill C. Meigs is dirt, some rocks, and water. Yeah, thanks a lot to the jerk mayor of Chicago that destroyed this airport. But we are not going to let that stop us. We are still going to take off from this little island right here because we're determined and we are going to do it. And where is the plane? That's a good question. Our plane just happens to be right over there. So let's head right over there. Now the scenery, the default scenery in Microsoft Flight Simulator is fantastic. It is really good. But there are some things that it doesn't render very well, and you're beginning to see it the closer we get to it. And that would be these buildings of some sort. They need some help. They need a lot of help. But not only that, I think those are supposed to be boats up there, or in the water there, but they are turning out to look more like rocks out in the water instead. So, well, I guess you just gotta use your imagination a little bit. But it's all based off of Bing Maps. Well, you can see that there is something here that would resemble cars or whatnot. And there's another building right over there. And, you know, we won't get dizzy here. So, yeah, you know, I think those are supposed to be boats and stuff. They're not rendering out as such. And then, well, it looks like you've got some sunken boats down here. Come on, our Northerly island slash Merrill C. Meigs really needs some love, folks. Orbix, come on, Orbix. You can do this, right? You did this for FSX and P3D and X-Plane and Aerofly. You can do this for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We know you can. There's a lot of us, myself included, that want to fly out of this airport, but we're just going to have to do it another way. So let's go on in here in the aircraft, and let's talk about our flight. Alrighty, so you should be familiar with this map. This World Tour series all started with the Commodore 64, and so this is the map for the default scenery for the Commodore 64, which is also the same as Microsoft Flight Simulator 2, 3, and 4. It all has the same basic general area here. This is where we are at Merrill C Meigs, and we're going to be going right here, the Chicago O'Hare International. So we're going to be flying between the two. And just in case you wanted something a little bit more modern to look at, here is Navigraph. This is the first time that I'm featuring this on the World Tour. It is not on any of the other simulators, FSX, P3D, X-Plane. Nope. This for the World Tour series. This is the first time that I'm featuring Navigraph. But this is the VOR that we'll want to tune into right here. It is the GCO the GCO VOR for Chicago. So that is 108.25. So I got monitors all over the place, in case you're wondering. I literally have a control center here. So we're here in the aircraft, which is a Cessna 172. This is just the basic 172 without the G1000, and for that matter without a yoke. But we can we have invisibility potion. We can make that appear and disappear. But we're going to go ahead and get her started here. Go ahead and get all that tuned on and turned on. The interesting thing in regards to the original Flight Simulator 2 map and what we have on Navigraph now is that the VORs are different. So the VOR that is on the Flight Simulator 2 map, well, that frequency doesn't appear to apply anymore. So let's go ahead. We'll just go ahead and tune in what we know here. 108.25 is the frequency for Chicago, and that's the comm radio. We actually want to tune in this one right here. 108.25. Okay, so we are all set there. Now it's tuned in. We're not getting a signal. Oh, that's sent to GPS. We got to change that. Okay. So we still don't have anything there. Now, just for laughs, let's change the standby frequency to 113.9. This is the frequency that is on the Flight Simulator 2 map. Okay, so we don't get anything either way. So we probably have to get up into the air before we get an actual signal. That tends to be the thing. And even so, we should have no problem finding the airport. I mean, how many times have we flown it already in all the other simulators? So we are all set to go. Let's go ahead and get to the end of the island, and we'll fly from, well, what used to be runway 36. Sort of. So I guess in a way this is bush flying, or maybe dirt flying. some of the terrain here is just kind of scary looking. So yeah, all the other simulators, we have done the same exact flight. Well, there is a little house over here at least, with a satellite dish. Can this be our house? Our house in the middle of the island. And then there's that, whatever that is. Okay, well, this is it. We are ready to go. This should be interesting. Alright, we are airborne. We'll fly over here. Just as we did on the other simulators. We've got the orange building, which doesn't look as orange over here. There's the fountain, which, well, doesn't quite work. But you'll recognize some of these buildings here. And is the Prudential building right here. It sure looks like it. There it is, the Prudential building. This is something we haven't quite been able to do in the other simulators, is really appreciate all of the buildings that are here in downtown Chicago. Yeah, so we'll just kind of fly around there. You can see the freeway down there with the cars. Got some free movement here. And we've got ATC.
Chicago approach 13F 13 Foxtrot is type Cessna Skyhawk 9 air miles northeast of Midway. Request flight following. 13F 13 Foxtrot Chicago approach. Squawk 1154.
Alright, squawk 1154. Let's see, 1154. And idents.
13F 13 Foxtrot radar contact 9 air miles northeast of Midway, 1,900 feet. Altimetry 0.07. Copy 13F 13 Foxtrot.
Just allowing you to take in the view and enjoy what you're seeing. Something that we have not been able to see in any of the other simulators is this level of detail. Of course, in reality, they probably would not appreciate a 172 flying as low as it is, but that's okay. Hey, we can even land on the freeway if we want. Check that out. This is definitely one of those wow simulators, I gotta tell you. I mean, my first simulator was the Commodore 64, which is why I had started the World Tour, was because I wanted to relive my memories of the Commodore 64. And then it just kind of went from there. Went to Flight Simulator 5 and Flight Simulator 98, 98 being one of my faves. And then FS9, Flight Simulator 2004, was one of those wow simulators for me. I was like, wow, this is what I've been waiting for. FSX and X-Plane, and ever since then I've added all the old simulators, getting the old X-Planes following, Sierra Pro Pilot, yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. But this is just absolutely fun to be able to fly over Chicago, and it actually looks like Chicago. It's not like photoreal scenery that just has autogen on it. I mean, well, you know, this is a good representation 3D wise in regards to the buildings, but this is just some amazing technology that Microsoft has been able to partner up with to get it looking like this, along with, you know, their Bing maps. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. So you can even see the shadow of the plane down there too. Yeah, there's a church right there. Anybody know what church that is? Okay, so we have no signal from the VOR for some reason. Either one.
13F 13 Foxtrot, contact Chicago approach on 133.625. 133.625 for 13F 13 Foxtrot.
Now that is one thing that is a little problematic, and that it's saying decimal instead of point. That's not very accurate at all. Let's go ahead and change that here. 133.625.
Chicago approach 13F 13 Foxtrot, 1,000 feet. 13F 13 Foxtrot, Chicago approach, continue as planned. Altimeter 30.08.
So I'm going to go ahead and select the closest airport. Well, we want Chicago Air, so we're going to request them, and we're going to go ahead and tune into their tower. Well, they got ATIS. Let's check that out. That's 135.40.
airport information India 1300 Zulu. Flight 280 at 1 tree. Visibility, tree. Sky condition, few clouds at 500 feet, few clouds at 4,300 feet, few clouds at 12,200 feet. Temperature, 2.10. Altimeter tree 0.07.
Look at this tower here.
ILS runway 27 right, ILS runway 27 left, ILS runway 28 center, ILS runway 28 right, and ILS runway 28 left in use. Landing and departing runway 27 right, runway 27 left, runway 28 center, runway 28 right, and runway 28 left. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact, you have India.
Okay.
O'Hare Airport information.
Now we'll tune in the tower.
1300 Zulu. Flight 280 at 1 tree. Visibility, tree. Sky condition, few clouds at 500 feet, few clouds at 4,300 feet, few clouds at 12,200 feet. Temperature, 2.10. Tower 13F1 Tree Foxtrot is 6 miles east with Juliet to land. 13F1 Tree Foxtrot Tower. Make straight in runway 27 left. Altimeter tree 0.08, wind 280 at 1 tree. Fly straight in runway 27 left, 13F1 Tree Foxtrot.
Okay, sounds good. Now, since we've got those instructions, one thing that we didn't do on the other flights with Navigraph is actually pull up the charts for that. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll pull that up on the screen here.
F1 Tree Foxtrot cleared to land runway 27 left. Wind 277 at 12. Cleared to land runway 27 left, 13F1 Tree Foxtrot.
It's like, hey, you better land quickly. 27 left, right? Okay. There's an ILS for it. There we go. So ILS is 110.5. And we're supposed to be coming in at around 2,200 feet. So let's go ahead and we will get that tuned in here. I'll need to turn off these little heading things that are there. 110.5. There we go. Okay, and the heading is 273. Which is right about there. And the airport is like right in front of us. So let's move around a little bit here. Make sure that we can land on the correct runway. Everything about this simulator, okay, well, not everything, but there's a lot about this simulator that is just fantastic. Okay, we're at the right height now. That's good. Just keeping an eye on our gauge here. Ooh, there it goes. There it goes. Localizer is alive. Start bringing down some flaps here. Some more flaps down. Now, if you're thinking my flying is a little bumpy, well, it's because I'm using a gamepad controller, not a yoke or anything. Why don't I have one of those? Well, because I wind up spending my money on other stuff, like old Flight Simulator expansions and stuff. Nice soft landing there.
F13 Foxtrot, exit runway when able.
Alright, we'll go ahead and take this one right here.
F13 Foxtrot, contact ground on 124.125. 124.125 13F13 Foxtrot.
To 4.125. There's actually 4 different frequencies that have ground, but the one they're giving us is 124.125. Now I can just click the button and it will automatically tune in, but this gives it, you know, a little bit more immersion. It's kind of nice. Now we can taxi to the gates, or we can taxi to parking. Oh, I love the text at the gates with the Cessna. They really appreciate the fact that I do something like that. So,
Ground 13F, 1 Tree Foxtrot, taxi to the gate. 13F, 1 Tree Foxtrot, taxi to gate Foxtrot 10 via taxiway Alpha 1 Bravo Alpha 2 Alpha Alpha 10. Taxiing to gate Foxtrot 10 via taxiway Alpha 1 Bravo Alpha 2 Alpha Alpha 10 13F 1 Tree Foxtrot.
all right. Now here's the question: is the database up to date with what the airports would be today? So Navigraph is going to have updated information. But Flight Simulator, on the other hand, some areas are kind of, and some are not. But let's go ahead and take a look on Navigraph here, and we'll see what they have for the taxi routes. Okay, so here is the map for Chicago O'Hare, and we came in right here on 27 left. Can't really zoom in any closer than that. We're right about here, I would say. And so he was telling us to take Alpha 1 Bravo. Alpha 1, okay, that's it right there. This is Alpha 1. Bravo's right there. And then Alpha 2. Here's Alpha 2 right there. And then Alpha and Alpha 10. So Alpha 10, okay, is over in this area here where it says ARP. So I guess that's it right there. So we'll go ahead and put this back up. Now, something that is really also helpful is you can turn on a map here, a VFR map, as you can see. Make this a little bit bigger here. And you can come in here and you can zoom in. And it doesn't, have the taxiways listed out, but this allows us to compare with what I have in Navigraph. Eventually, they'll have it to where you can connect it to Flight Simulator, and then there will be a little icon or something that represents your plane that's actually on the map. It's really neat. It works with FSX and P3D and X-Plane. So hopefully soon we'll get that here with Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. But the instructions were pretty much take this right here and come down basically like this. So we're going to come down like this and around. And Alpha 10 was right in here, right in this area. So this is where they're going to have us park. And just for reference, I can pull this off onto another monitor. It's just like FSX and P3D. You can say, hey, make that an unattachable window. I think that goes all the way back to Flight Simulator 2002, as a matter of fact. And the ATC window is also off on another monitor. So in case you're wondering. And there are different types of air traffic that you can have in here. You can have AI traffic, live traffic, or like the live traffic with actual players, other people that are flying. So, yeah. Pretty neat. One thing that we don't quite have yet is liveries. We don't have a really good traffic program as of yet, so eventually we will. There's the ATC window. I had to close it. Something weird was going on when I was screwing around looking at stuff. Now there are 3 editions to Microsoft Flight Simulator: Standard, Deluxe, and Premium. You get, what is it, like 5 additional handcrafted airports and aircraft with the Deluxe, and then another 5 aircraft and airports with the Premium. And so what I have is the Premium one. Okay, so this should be the area right here. And we'll just go ahead and park it right over here. Because, you know, this is where Cessnas actually go. We're a special Cessna, what can I say? I mean, this is the World Tour. This is the famous World Tour. Go ahead and turn everything off here. There we go. Now, sadly, unlike the older simulators, you cannot open the doors in this. That's a disappointment. You can, there is a Coronado plane in which you can open up the door and you can open up the window, but that seems to be about the one of the only few benefits of that. There's been some reviews on that plane that have not been so good. So, and you know, I want to try a few different aircraft here for you folks, so that way you can see some different types of stuff. And also too, I think you might appreciate some external views here. There's also ground services, which is pretty neat. And this is one of the handcrafted airports, Chicago O'Hare. Okay, well, there we go. We'll stop it here, and I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please click that like button and share the video. Leave some comments. It all helps out. Helps support your independent content creators, because the corporations are taking over YouTube, and we don't want that. We want the you in YouTube. So help me out, help the channel out. Spread the good word. It really helps. And another thing you can do is, if you're new here, subscribe and ring that notification bell, so that way you get notified of when a new video of this series is uploaded, as well as the other series that I have for flight simulation, and I do other things that are on this channel as well throughout the week. So subscribing means you get to be part of the KILR community, which is an awesome community, and getting that notification, pretty important. You kind of, might want to know when something new comes up. And something else that you might be interested in are live streams that I happen to do over on Twitch. Many times when I'm recording episodes, I will also live stream at the same time, which will give you folks a chance to be a part of the show. Also, another thing is Instagram, where I take pictures and photos of projects that I'm working on behind the scenes. If it tends to get a little bit quiet, you can always check over there on Instagram to see what it is that I might be up to. Also, Twitter, I use that for official KILR news and announcements. Another great way to kind of stay up to date on what's going on with the channel. I don't do the same thing on Instagram that I do over on Twitter, so I try to keep them separate and a little bit unique. So, subscribing to both, it's a good thing. I appreciate it. And then there is Snapchat. Once in a while, I'll just do something fun and silly with Snapchat. So if you happen to have an account, you can add me there as well. And for those of you who enjoy the things that I do and would like to support me, I do have a Patreon account. So there are different tier levels set up there with different bonuses and rewards. And I hope you like what you see over there, and whatever you're willing to give really helps out. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you on the next leg of our exciting journey. Have a killer awesome day.